Welcome back to Wind Against Tide. Adrian, we have a full house tonight. Not one, but two guests. We have Ace Jace Taylor returning. We spoke to Jace a while ago now, Adrian. Start of our Victorian kingfish season, and he's the kingfish specialist. So he's going to give us some updates as to how that's been going for him.
Definitely, yep.
And we're also joined by Michell, who's come in to chat to us about all things recreational women's fishing, amongst other things. Many other things to talk about. You've got some stuff to update us with your boat, Adrian.
Yeah, more stuff with the motor was regarding props and top speed again. So we've increased again, which we'll talk about later.
The never-ending boat upgrades.
Oh, yeah. That's a boat for you, isn't it?
It is boats, yeah.
No, I just
Money pit.
fix the things that break on mine. That costs enough. So I guess we should get introduced to our guest. We've kind of already know a bit about Jace because we've had him on recently, but maybe Michelle, we can get to know Michelle a little bit. So thanks for coming on, Michelle.
Thank you for having me.
No worries. Good to have you in. We've been hoping to get you in for a while. We just had to get it through your manager, Jason, over there. He said you had a very busy schedule.
The fishing husband.
Yeah. So I've heard.
Had to sign the contracts for monies and all that.
Yeah. What do we owe you anyway, by the way?
Just the water's fine.
Just the water? Are you sure you're okay with that? That looks like it's just home brand water. I've heard you like the nice stuff.
Voss water. No.
Yeah, Voss. I was actually going to get you some, but we ran out of time. But I do hope that will be all right for you.
That's fine, mate.
You'll be all right with that?
Thank you, Dave.
Very good. Yeah, so we'll get to know Michelle a little bit. So how long have you been fishing for, Michelle? Is it something you've done your whole life or you've gotten into it later in life?
Yeah, so it has been an activity which was brought to me when I was a little girl. My grandfather first took me to the jetties, and it was just a holiday activity as well. I took a liking to it, and I continued from there. As a teenager, I used to go out with some mates and hire those little yellow boats from Cannonook Creek and putt out to Frankston.
How fun is that? Yeah. And the little tiller steers going over the sandbar.
Oh, so good. But half the time the engines would cut out and you'd be stuck in the middle of nowhere without anything. So just had a flatty bash and
good old flatty bashing.
Yes.
It was the start of many a fishing career, wasn't it, Adrian?
Oh yeah, especially in Port Phillip Bay. Like you can literally catch a flathead on anything in that bay. Like you just jiggle something off the bottom and you're on. There's so many of them.
But how awesome is that too, though?
Yeah.
It's a great way for kids and just anyone generally getting into fishing, I reckon.
Yes.
Constant action.
Yep, definitely. But I have a strong love for the ocean, so. It brought me to my fishing passion, and now I've got a daughter, and she also enjoys her fishing. So,
that's
the
awesome.
reason why the women in rec fishing. It's
and
passion.
we'll speak about that a little bit more. So, how old's your daughter?
She's 7.
Awesome. So, is she starting to get into it a little bit as well? She go out with you?
Yeah. So, myself and my ex-husband are keen fishers.
Yep.
She does prefer his boat better. It's an Eden craft.
Yeah.
So she can tuck away into the cabin when she's had enough. But she does like her fishing. She likes catching squid, and she's very good at catching whiting too.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Squid are great for kids because they're just like constantly active and working away there.
We've actually heard that you towel Jason up in the whiting fishing. Is that true?
I do. Apparently he's not into bait fishing.
Oh, that's his excuse, I bet.
Yeah, every time she beats me in whiting fishing, every time.
They reckon it's like girls are better at whiting fishing because they've got better touch.
Ah, yeah, it is a touchy-feely thing, isn't it?
Yeah, I reckon.
Like they just Patience.
Yes. So you don't you don't do a big strike as soon as they touch the bait, or you just let it eat it and slowly lift it?
Well, if I gave you too much away, no. Yes, it is patience, but it's also the gear that you use as well, and the tides. There is a technique into it, but the guys tend to, as soon as they feel that bite, they just want to whack it.
Yep.
I think last time you were using like a 3-0 and you still beat me.
Exactly.
3-0.
Use a bigger hook, you get a bigger fish.
You got to use the KL hooks, Jace.
3-0 snapper snatcher.
Oh, snapper snatcher.
Was it?
Oh, well, we did. No, yeah, it was a snapper snatcher. It was a paternoster style with circle hook.
Yeah.
But we were losing so many rigs. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to go heavier.
Yep.
And went heavier and bigger, and I was landing the fish.
There you go. I just use sabikis like I do with other bait fish.
Yeah, right.
Find that quite effective. So you're working pretty closely with an organisation called WIRF, Women in Recreational Fishing.
That's right.
So how'd you come to be involved with that one?
So the program is run by Victorian Fisheries, so they fund the program. It started 4 years ago. I'm part of Cast 2. So in 2019, I had the opportunity to apply for the ambassador role. They choose 10 each year. And so I was lucky enough to be chosen in 2019, went to the AFTA, and we had a few conferences there and met other like-minded people. And now we've formed a Facebook group and Instagram. And basically what we do is we're just trying to encourage women to come to the group so they have a safe space to come there and share their fishing adventures, their catches, and also an educational platform as well to get them to start fishing basically, because there's a lot of beginners that come to the page.
Yep.
And also ones that are already with husbands or partners that that already fish, but they want to sort of go out on their own as well and have an activity outside of their families.
Yep.
And it's just nice to connect with other women as well, just like guys hang out together and have a laugh. It's the same thing with women. So we're just trying to encourage those sort of friendships. And so the page is growing, which is fantastic.
Yep.
And we now also go to events that Vic Fisheries run, and we do like kids fishing or, basically any like how-tos. We're going to start doing some trailer backing and, freshwater, saltwater.
Yep.
And just adventure style fishing as well, boating. Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
It's it's really good to see programs like this running because I know Adrian's the same. We love seeing women getting into fishing.
Oh, yeah. It's bloody great sport.
It is. And it's, like you're saying, it is great to see so many girls doing it of their own accord. And I think potentially in the past there wasn't that pathway through, like some young women might have been interested in it, but then they were a bit hamstrung in that, they didn't have the gear or the know-how, or maybe they even felt a bit embarrassed at the ramp because some jerks might have made offhand comments even. So it's good to see that there's that pathway there through WIRF with all the information, and hopefully I think as well that that generational thing of fishing being a male-dominated sport may be starting to end a little bit, and it becomes more of a gender-neutral thing because, like as we were saying, women are pretty bloody good at it when they have a crack.
It's certainly growing.
We can teach you a few things.
I reckon.
Have you seen any like discretion at the boat ramp yourself, being down there most weekends and stuff?
It hasn't been too, but I guess I sort of am blind to that. I sort of just take myself away from that. Yep. There are obviously certain personalities out there that can't control their comments and behaviour. And I guess that's why, we're trying to break the bias and, show that we are equal and we are skilled. We're not just women and like trying to, take over the fishing clubs and take over your fishing spots and things like that. We just want to enjoy it like you guys do and enjoy it with you and be safe doing it too. And it has changed a lot. Like the industry's a lot more fun. And it is becoming more equal. And like a lot of the guys, they have daughters too. So you'd want to know that your daughter can share an activity with you and feel safe. And
exactly.
So it's getting better.
Oh, that's great to hear then.
Yeah.
Wow.
That'll be you in the next few years, Adrian.
My little girl's 3 years old now, turning 4 soon. So hopefully she likes fishing. She likes jumping on the boat every now and then, but I've tried to take it squid fishing, but
Really?
Once we go squid fishing, sees a couple of squid, I want to go home now. So,
Really?
yeah.
It's actually quite funny because my wife was on the phone earlier and she likes to remind Adrian that she's caught a bigger tuna than he has.
Oh, yeah.
I think I've caught a bigger tuna than Adrian, knowing
I've
full
never
well that
caught
she has.
I've never caught a barrel before. I've tried. I've hooked them, clamped them off. There's nothing more I can do. Yeah.
And you've missed every trip where we've got them.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
This year's your year, though, Adrian.
Yeah. I'm going to go hard this month, I reckon.
Sounds good, mate. Sounds good.
Yeah.
So you also are into surfing and stuff, aren't you, Michelle? I think you're pretty high profile surfer, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm not a high profile
Yeah,
surfer.
you are.
I enjoy my surfing
Yeah,
very
yeah.
much. But I'm a surfing instructor as well. So
Yeah.
I spend a lot of time in the salt water.
Yeah.
I very much enjoy the ocean.
What's
So-
your favourite break, like in Victoria? Where do you love?
I like Kilcunda.
Kilcunda. Wow.
Yep.
Is that a righty or a lefty?
It's a peak.
A peak. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know what that is. but-
Both.
Oh, both. Yeah. There you go.
Oh, fancy.
I guess.
I used to surf a lot actually when I was young.
Clearly,
I
you can tell.
didn't know what a peak was. I just knew lefty and righty.
You got to go to Kilcunda, Adrian.
Yep, I got to go to Kilcunda.
Yeah. There's so many awesome places to explore with surfing, but also fishing. So I'm kind of, tied between the two because when
Yep.
the conditions are good for fishing, the conditions are good for surfing. So,
Exactly. Yeah.
yeah.
God, it was on Monday. I went to Apollo Bay. The swell was cranking, and you could just see all along the coast. The breaks were really impressive.
The great
Yeah.
autumn swell, Dave.
Yeah, is that what it is?
Oh, it's amazing on the west coast
Yeah.
in autumn. Yeah.
All I know is it made my boat go really fast down the swells, and I got bashed by waves. Now you've also got some. We'll keep on with a few more questions for you. Then we're going to throw over to Jace because I know he's just ready to rumble with
He's
some
eager.
kingfish info.
He bought his whole lure box here to show us some props.
Bit of show and tell.
Yeah, so we've touched on whiting a little bit. So I was going to ask you what your favourite fishing species are. Would that be whiting? And if not, what would it be?
Yeah, I mean, whiting is top of my list.
Yep.
I love the sport side of whiting, and also, they're delicious as well.
Yeah,
They're super fun to catch.
Yeah.
And they are a challenge too.
Yeah.
So you do need to know a little bit about them to catch them.
Yeah.
So I'm very intrigued by the species.
Yep.
But since fishing with Jace, he's taught me a lot about the kingfish, and now I have an
you fish for
obsession.
kings, do you?
Shell
now I
keeps
have a bit of-
complaining that she hasn't caught a tuna with me. She goes, "What about tuna?" I go, "Sorry, kingfish. They're a lot harder to catch. Come on."
Yeah, so I have a bit of an obsession with kingfish now. The goal is to get one on top water.
Yep.
It's hard.
Yeah.
Yes, you got a good one the other week, didn't you?
Yeah. I've got a couple this season, and I don't know. Victorian kingfish on top water is really hard. To get them on bait's one thing, but top water
Yeah.
is the next thing.
Very much so. Oh, very good. So yeah, whiting and kingfish are the main two that you're into at the moment.
Yes, yeah, definitely.
If you had the opportunity to fish for the tuna, would you do it a lot more or?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's time. I do work too
Yeah.
amongst all my activities. But yeah, and it's weather as well, and it's having the equipment to go out. So my tinny and my motor's not
Yeah.
not going to get me out the rip or
Yeah.
offshore at the moment. So one day I'll be able to afford a motor and get her out there. But
Yeah, it's awesome.
but I have done well on the tuna when I have targeted them, both on top water as well. And I do like to target them more so with top water.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
Well, I'd say you're welcome to come with us.
Thank you.
Doesn't mean you're going to catch them.
You have to run it past the manager first.
Manager can come too.
Done.
So Jace, you've got this persona that you're Shell's fishing manager, are you?
Yeah, well, just since we met probably 3 years ago, we've just sort of gelled and gone fishing on different boats and piers, and finally I got my boat on the water, and we've just always fished in Western Port and Port Phillip and Washpool.
So how did you two actually start fishing together?
I think we met on social media through fishing, and then after I think was the first time we sort of had a conversation, and then just pretty much with all my fishing
Portsea Pier,
relationships, you
fishing for
sort of
squid.
just-
Yep.
you get a trust for someone.
How good is squid fishing?
It's good.
It's very like
It's
competitive.
good when you catch one.
Yeah.
And
I
cuttlefish.
think that was a donut day, to be honest,
And cuttlefish.
and cuttlefish, yeah.
Jace doesn't have donut days. I see his social media. He's always catching them.
I just don't put it up.
See, there you go. That's what happens. Everyone thinks that we're awesome at fishing, but really,
Believe me,
I told
kingfish-
everyone he missed 5 times in a row. So
Yeah.
it's all right, Chase.
Kingfish, Victorian kingfish, plenty of donut trips, plenty.
oh, for sure, very frustrating.
Yep.
Now, just to finish up with some questions for you, Michelle, are you currently working with Black Magic as one of our other good friends, Joni Yickers?
Yeah.
So how do you find that partnership and what made you want to align yourself with them?
So basically, Black Magic Tackle, I've used their product and have absolutely loved it. I align myself with brands where I'm genuine, that I can genuinely say that this product's amazing. And it hasn't let me down yet. And the company itself, they're so supportive, even outside of the fishing. They touch base and they support you outside of whatever's going on in your life. Also, they're a family-orientated business, and so they align with the same values as me in the fishing industry.
Yeah.
I thoroughly enjoy their brand, and I'm happy to say how good it is.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah.
It's always good to work with people that you enjoy working with, I suppose, isn't it, Adrian?
Exactly, yeah. Jace, do you like using Black Magic?
I do, yeah, yep.
What's
I
your
do.
favourite lure?
Favourite lure.
He likes their leaders.
Yeah, the leaders.
We were just saying that too, weren't
Yeah.
we?
and
They're fantastic.
the KL circle hooks.
Yeah.
And the whiting whackers because I can't keep up with her.
Because Michelle's recommended them to you.
So do you
the
reckon
frozen.
My
they're
secret weapon.
a game changer in whiting fishing, those KL hooks?
They are good, yes.
Yeah.
Yep. And on snapper.
On
Yeah.
snapper too, yeah.
And it's so
There you
easy
go.
to use for people that don't have the time to do up their rigs. You
Yep.
just get one of those clips, you clip it on, and you've got your rig all ready to go. You just put a little bit of bait on it, and
Yeah.
There you go.
good.
Those
Yeah.
pre-made rigs are getting very popular, aren't they?
They really are.
We like the old Reedy's rigs.
Well, I actually haven't used any of those pre-made rigs before, so I couldn't tell you how well they go, but I do have.
No, but we thought about it.
Yeah, I've got a few packets in the boat for those times I'm offshore and I go, you know what, might just catch a gummy, but I've still never opened them yet.
Do you know what? Like last 2 weeks ago when I got
Yeah.
those big gummies, snap snatcher just over the side.
Yep, there you
Yeah.
go.
Had
Good
a-
to have in your boat.
On my casting rod,
Yeah.
unclipped the stick bait,
Yeah.
clipped on the snapper snatcher, put it down, bang, on.
see how easy.
It was.
Yeah. No, they're handy to have.
From Michelle.
Well, a lot of people do say it's cheating and that it's not proper
No.
fishing if you've got pre-rigs. But I mean, come on, like,
Yeah.
what's the problem with it?
That's what everyone says about bait fishing though.
What were
But
you?
if you catch your bait,
Yeah, true. What was going on that day when you went gummy fishing, Jace? What happened? The kingfish were just nowhere to be found.
the water was green and it was yuck, and we tried for kingfish, and
Yeah.
everyone was catching gummies at Port Welshpool, so that's what we did. Yeah.
Did you steal Peter's mark?
Peter Ferguson?
Yeah.
No. I've never caught a gummy. Oh, yeah. I've never caught a snapper with Peter, but yeah.
A snapper?
No, he keeps,
Okay.
he smashes me on the snapper. He don't catch snapper. No.
Even on his boat?
Even on his boat. I reckon he's caught 10 in front of me and I haven't caught one.
I heard you went snapper fishing with him and only the rods on his side of the boat caught
That's
fish.
right, yeah. Or he's grabbed mine.
Oh,
No, yeah.
that's a bit of an accusation.
Just a bit of banter, Pete. Nothing to worry about.
He'll let me know. Don't worry.
Well, if we want to move on now, Jace, you have obviously been out on the kingfish.
Yep.
Like I said earlier, we spoke to you before kingfish season really kicked into gear, and we said we'd catch up with you again kind of afterwards or sort of midway, I suppose.
It's almost the end.
Kind of, yeah. Sad, isn't it?
It is, yeah, I know. It's going to be a long winter, that's for sure.
So how's it all been going? What's your catch rates? What have you been tagging him? Any tag recaptures?
Yep. So I think the first time we did the podcast, I hadn't caught one yet. But
Yep.
So now it's been a funny season. Like if those fish hadn't have turned up in Western Port, I don't think anyone would have really caught many fish.
No.
And now there's a few fish in the rib, but it's I've had to travel. I've caught them at Cape Conran, Welshpool, Western Port, Port Fairy, and Portland. So I've really had to travel, but
Yep.
you know, depending on the weather. So I know a lot of people have struggled this year, but I've just done a lot of trips and a lot of donut trips also. So
Yeah.
Yep.
It's good to know even you miss sometimes. It'll make
yeah,
everyone feel
absolutely.
better.
Yep.
So the first fish you got this year, was that the recaptured one? Or was
No.
that a few fish in?
There's a few fish in. So
You got this one on the screen here.
yep. So that's young Connor. He's 15, and that was at Welshpool.
Yep.
And that was his biggest fish he's ever caught, and it was a metre 4. And so he chose to tag and release it, and so a good friend of mine, Ben, fishes the same area.
So this is Ben here, is it?
That's Ben. Yep.
And it looks like he got it on some kind of sluggo thing.
On a sluggo. So he rings me and he goes, "Hey, I've just caught a kingfish with a tag in it." And we looked at the tag. Yep. Before we even got recognition from DPI.
You probably hadn't
South
even
Wales.
handed the card in yet, had you?
I can't remember.
So this is the tag here that
Yep.
he probably sent you that photo and asked, "Is that your fish, Jace?"
Yep. Yep. So he rang me straight away. I said, "Oh my God, it is." So there you go.
How many days at Liberty?
6 days.
6 days.
Yep.
Wow.
What an idiot. What was it thinking?
I don't know. And it took a lure the
So
second
you
time.
caught it on a live bait?
On a live bait, yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
How
And-
far did it move?
It didn't.
Really? Exact same spot, eh?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Maybe the current was too strong there and you couldn't get past it.
Yeah, I don't know. Don't know.
Well, I guess on the plus side, you know that the fish you're releasing are in very high spirits.
Yeah, I suppose so. But it also maybe shows that the more recaptured tag kingfish, the smaller the biomass.
Yeah.
So, there's a few recaptures last year, and there's that's the only one we've had recaptured so far. But also, only 2 weeks ago, I caught a kingfish with a tag in it, and it had seaweed on it. And I was thinking, "Oh, what is this?" And it was a tag under the under all the seaweed. And so I've got a friend at fisheries, and sent him the tag number, and he goes, "Oh, Kevin Bahaja."
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Oh,
you're
You
kidding
caught
me.
Kevin's fish.
I did, yeah.
Old friend of the show, Kev, eh?
Yeah, good old Kev.
How far did that fish travel? I'm not going to ask where you
Same.
caught it. Same area, yep.
Yep. It didn't.
And how long ago was it at Liberty?
It was 2 weeks off a year.
Okay.
Yep.
Wow.
And
And
I
the same area.
Yep. And I think it grew like only 9 centimeters or 10 centimeters. So
Well, Kevin might have put a bit of mayo on his. So.
I
It'd
think
be
that's
funny if it went backwards.
yeah, that's right.
Who's an exaggerator here?
It makes you think, like, has that fish stayed in the area or has it swum off, because warmer water, and it sort of makes fish grow quicker. So if he's gone up the coast, he might have grown quicker.
Yep.
But if he stayed in colder climate in Victoria, he's only grown 10 centimeters.
We have seen the odd big fish caught in, I guess, Victoria in winter. Like I remember hearing a report like a 30 kilo fish caught off Western Port in August a few years ago. Do you remember that, Dave?
Oh,
Yeah, I remember it. It was a bit suspect. Though.
yeah. It was a bit sus on it too.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
There's definitely photos going around.
Yep. But they say that Wilson's Prom, should have fish all year round. So
Yep.
yep, if they're going to be anywhere, that's where I'd say.
Yeah, okay. It'd be very interesting to put a sat tag on
Yeah.
one. We need to maybe look into that. Get some funding.
Well,
Well, Shell might have a bit of a pool there,
Yeah,
working
WIRF.
close with the government there.
WIRF will cough up for a sat tag.
yep. Well, Michelle's tagged a few kingfish this year. She said she wanted to, so she's done well.
Yeah, it
We
was
need
good.
to tag kingfish, Adrian. They actually get recaptured.
Yes.
We-
Well, if I tag 100 this year, you got to be almost
Tuna.
guaranteed. Yeah.
Tuna. Yep.
You got to be guaranteed to get a recapture, I reckon.
How many tuna are you up to?
Oh, don't ask, Jace. I've been stalled for a long time.
18 was it? No.
oh, that'd be nice.
No, well, I've caught a lot more than what I've tagged, but I've only
we know.
tagged 14
Okay. Yeah.
this
That's
year.
good. That's good.
No, it's not.
There was times where I caught 9 like before lunchtime in the morning, then went back to work, and I didn't have any tags left on me, so
Yeah, okay.
that stalled me a bit.
I've had that issue. Yeah.
My issue now is that I don't have any fish to catch. I've had about 7 donut trips in a row in the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, they've headed west.
Yeah, I know. I'm heading there this weekend, actually.
Yeah.
So I'll try reboot the campaign of Target 100.
And
I'm bowing out at this stage. I'm not travelling.
Dave's actually
4 hours
quite
to
mad
catch
at me. Like if I said to him a month and a half ago, I'm going to go west to catch, cast at tuna, he would absolutely go, oh, you know what? I'll come. But now that there's bigger fish around, he doesn't
Ooh.
want a bar of it.
yeah, he invited me last week, and I said,
Yeah, you're
"Sorry,
very lucky
kingfish."
you didn't come. Might discuss that trip a little bit later so people can feel my pain as well.
But yeah, he's a bit of a fish snob, Davo. When something bigger and better comes along, he doesn't want anything to do with it.
Yeah. I was literally out the other day and there was thousands of those little tuna jumping around me and I was just ignoring them, telling lures that were too big for them to eat.
Yeah,
It's good. It's good.
Back on...
we all have our focus.
Yeah.
Don't we? Yep.
Are you going to tag me?
I was just going to say, so I'm got about 30 kingfish on my boat which have been tagged. So hopefully we'll
30 this season.
Yep.
You've tagged 30 this season.
Almost 30. Yeah. I
Oh,
think
there
we're
you
about-
go.
Yeah. 28,
Well done,
yeah,
Jace.
yeah. So
How many trips do you reckon you've done?
Just quietly, I think I did
300?
11 trips to Western Port before I caught a kingfish.
Yep.
I like Western Port was, I struggled.
It's hit and miss Western Port over the years, I've seen.
Oh, but that certain boy held so many fish, and if when I zigged, I should have zagged, and I just missed him. Yeah.
The problem was you weren't mucking.
Yeah, our old mate Dom got into him.
Yeah, I should have stood on the buoy and done some jigging. Yeah,
Jigging
No
out.
mucking, mate.
You need a big gold chain.
yeah,
That's how they get 'em.
5 gold chains, apparently,
5. Yeah.
per neck.
More chains around the neck than the boy has connecting it to the seafloor.
There you go.
That's how you get them.
That's what the people at the servos look like.
Yeah.
apparently.
That's exactly right.
Anyway, this is my tag pole that I use. It's just a little hand tagger.
Looks like the one I've got in my boat.
Yeah, well, it's not. But I've got this purple.
Yeah, it's more.
rubber-
It's well used.
Yeah.
So mine's got a purple rubber band, so the tag doesn't fall out in the boat.
That's cool.
They're actually
well done.
quite hard to fall out.
They do, trust me. Yeah.
Was that a shot at Adrian for not having a rubber band?
Because I said they don't need them, Jace, and he's just trying to tell me they do.
I've always had the rubber band on too,
Yeah.
Jason.
That's
Adrian's.
It's safer that way.
Yeah.
Now
What are
you only
What are you saying?
now you only tag kingfish. Have you thrown away the other applicators in that lid? In that tag
No,
pole?
they're in there. They're in there. Yep. No, they're
Okay.
for sharks and other species, but I haven't.
Marlin and sharks, yeah.
Yeah, I haven't chased them this year, so
Yeah.
no.
There you go.
We'll have to go on a top water barrel expedition, Jace.
Yes, let's do it. Yep.
Unfinished business
Yeah, I know.
from many years ago.
Oh, it'd be 10 years.
Losing a lot
when
of
we first
line.
met.
More than
Yeah, that's right. Yep, spooled on a 20,000 Stella.
Yes. If anyone wants to see that footage, it's on the UFish TV YouTube somewhere back there where that's still some of the most intense fishing I've ever seen, actually, just having
Yeah.
those giant fish blowing up all around us.
Yep.
And then, you bloody cast one into basically landed in one's mouth.
Yep, it was a backhand cast, I remember too.
Yeah.
Yep.
That was hectic few minutes.
Yeah, even though I was only hooked up for like 2 minutes, I was just totally drained. I was done. I was spent. Yeah.
I think it's the emotion, like when you actually
Yeah.
get that, I guess, unicorn, you just spent from your emotion, like, oh my God, I've done it, I'm here.
Yep.
And you forget what you're doing. You're just like,
Yep. Well, with the barrel I actually got, I had like 8 years to think about it, and I just planned it out, and it worked, So
Yeah.
no close calls or anything. It was easy. Well, not easy, but in 3 hours,
Yeah.
everything went to plan.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's always nice when it goes that way.
It is definitely. Yep.
so with your kingfish journey, you sent me a photo earlier in the week. What is this? What is this here, Jace?
It's
Okay.
this young whippersnapper.
He looks about 43 in that photo.
Look at all the
How old are you now, Jace? No, Jace.
So that was 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Look at all the corpses
Is that
on the
really-
beach.
The corpses.
There's a couple in the background there, but
Before Jace knew what the tagpole was.
there was 3 of us on board. So yes, that's right.
They
2
taste
fish
good.
between 3.
Sorry.
2 fish between 3? Or was there a lot more in that photo? That I
Yeah,
didn't see?
on the sand. Yep.
Oh, wow.
That's a rare photo.
So over your journey of catching kingfish down at the prom,
Yep.
how have you seen the fishery? Has it grown in population, or do you reckon it's on the way down?
With Port Welshpool, like I had a caravan down there, and that's where I caught my first kingfish, and I was just like obsessed with them, and just from then on, I've just gone bananas on them.
So that was 15 years ago, was it?
10 years ago.
10 years ago,
Yep.
yep.
And so I only caught them once a year, it seemed, down there, and now there seems to be more numbers. Like they seem to be spread right throughout those island group, but it's showing with fisheries that the biomass is down with the commercial catches. So yeah, we just need to look after our fisheries. And I love a feed of kingfish, but those bigger fish, because I'm going all the time, let them go.
Yeah. And I think that applies to all our fisheries.
Yep.
Really, doesn't it?
Yep.
I mean, we can think that these fish are all in huge numbers because on one particular trip we've seen a heap of them, but then it doesn't take long. And like with the tuna, it seemed like there was a never-ending amount of tuna a few weeks ago, and then it shows how quickly they can move on. And
yeah, it doesn't mean that the sea's going to produce forever, and
No.
it makes you think like New Zealand's fishery. Did we have that years ago? Were all our fish like 20 kilos swimming around? But now,
Well,
you know,
SA get a lot of good sized fish.
yeah. Well, I think they don't get as much pressure on their fish because I know some go to
because
New South
Victorians
Wales.
are bloodthirsty.
Yeah, they seem to cut the corner. We don't get those big fish in
Yeah.
Victoria, but they do get recaptures in New South Wales. So
Those
Yeah.
same fish in
Yeah.
SA. Wow, that's
Yep.
interesting.
so they must,
Go around Tasmania and
yeah, something like that. Yep.
Yeah.
Well, there is those old school photos from the RIP, like 20, 30 years
Yeah,
ago.
yep.
They were huge fish.
They were, yep.
And I think they were getting them up like well inside Port Phillip at times too.
Yeah, I remember they were saying Seafood Pier or whatever. I
Yeah.
don't know how true that is. It was before
Oh, well,
my time.
why wouldn't they?
Yeah,
Like we know they go into estuaries and stuff.
yeah.
So
Yep.
maybe one
Wallaga
day-
Lake and stuff. They go in there, and so it's incredible.
But I just think
They do.
Yeah, it's good.
I just think with the kingfish fishery, we need to look after them. That's all. And bag limits of 5 per person. If you have 3 people, that's 15 fish. And if they're all meter fish, it's you don't. If you get 1 fish, you're gonna fillet it properly and look after it. And 15 fish, you're just gonna whip the fillets off and come on, hurry up, let's get to the pub or whatever.
Yeah.
And also size limit of 60 centimeters. Kingfish doesn't mature until it's about 80 centimeters, so they're not even mature. So I just think that something has to change there a little bit. Look after our fish.
But I think that's with a lot of species
Yeah.
in Victoria. Yeah, the bag limit is well before the mature,
yeah,
Yeah.
and maybe it's
Okay.
something that needs to get looked at.
yeah,
So,
Even taking like big breeding sharks and stuff,
oh yeah,
Or
that's
the bronze whales and
the
whatnot.
the makos. That's incredible.
Yeah, very slow growing species. I think through all fishing we need to take a bit more of like a holistic approach and only take what we need
yep.
to eat and then let the rest go or stop
Well,
fishing.
all of us here are probably lucky enough to go fishing more than often than most people. And if I kept every fish, it's
That's
you're just
true.
going to have your freezer full, and it's okay to give friends and neighbours, but all the time, you're not going to have a sustainable fishery. So
Yeah. But it is also human nature that people, like they might not want to admit it, but in the back of their head, they want to keep fish so they can take it home and
yeah,
brag,
yep.
which is, I don't know how you stop that because I think it's just something that humans are born into.
Yeah.
We often look at some of the captures. People keep for instance, blue sharks and stuff, and you go, that's going to sit in someone's fridge for 2 weeks. They'll forget about it and go, I guess this is going in the garbage now.
Yeah, I hate wasting
Yeah.
fish, that's for sure.
Yeah. So I see you've brought some lures along, Jace. Is that for our little question and answer session later on, or are you?
Oh no, it's up
You're
to
gonna do a
you
bit of
if
show
you
and
want to
tell?
talk about it now or whatever.
Well, I can't remember if anyone asked a question about him. We'll talk about it now. What have you got?
About now. Okay. Just like with kingfish, when I've done New Zealand trips, I've noticed that they use really big live baits, and kings are absolute pigs. So any big poppers or stick baits like this,
So what's that? What size is that, Jace?
23 centimeters.
There you go. Wow.
Yep.
For those listening on audio version, Jason's holding a long phallic shaped type
I think he likes
That's it.
such
There you go,
long,
Michelle.
type popper.
long and hard things.
I'd say it's probably a 200 mil plus lure. Definitely.
It's 23 centimeters.
I've
Yeah.
got a shellfish.
Uh-oh.
Shell's hooked.
This is what happened.
It's big stick baits. This one's from America. This one's from Japan.
So Jace handed Shell a fish there for those listening, and she's hooked herself straight away.
There you go.
You did that last week too, Adrian.
Yeah.
It happens to the best of us. So they're your top water options,
Yep.
or two of them, which we all love. Top water fishing. Was it that strategic angler? Is that a floater or a sinking?
It's a sinker.
You prefer sinking?
I used to prefer sinking. Now I've switched.
Yeah.
Because I've seen the guys in New South Wales use a lot of big floating stick baits, and kings are really hard to get top water. They're really, really hard,
Mm.
And yeah, I've caught most of them on live baits, and yeah, I love to catch them on top water, but they're super hard work.
Yeah, for sure.
The
Yeah.
bait's been really hard to get.
Yeah, this year the bait has been super hard. Like
I've noticed that.
it's like the super troller has gone through Victoria, because from Portland to Cape Conran,
Yeah.
we've struggled. We've tried different areas, and
Yeah, I was out off Flinders Bank the other day trying to catch some, and normally it's easy as out there. It's just loaded, but there wasn't anything apart from barber perch.
yeah.
But it's
I found
funny.
barber perch in the stomachs of kingfish too. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
They probably don't troll very well though, do they?
No. And actually, a friend of mine caught a really big kingfish, made a kingfish at a certain buoy on a grass whiting. It couldn't get livey, so we put a grass whiting down, and he made a king on
You're
it.
joking.
Yeah. So they're not fussy.
I told Suraj last week whiting is crap.
Yeah, well, me and Jace were going to troll a silver whiting the other week, weren't we?
Well, I've had years ago off Conran, had a whole school of kings around the boat, and we couldn't get live bait, and all we could get was tiny barracuda or silver whiting, sand whiting.
Yep.
They scoff the barracuda, but they would not touch the whiting.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So from that, I deduced that they don't like whiting.
Yeah, they're silly then, aren't they?
Yeah. We know Shell loves her whiting.
I think
Definitely
everyone
catch a
does.
Shell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shell's smarter than a kingfish.
Yeah. But I think I've caught kingfish on almost any live bait, like pike and cooter and everything, except once only salmon. I really don't recommend salmon. I don't know why. New Zealand, they smash it on salmon.
It's
But,
ridiculous
yeah.
the size of the baits they use over there, isn't it?
Yep, they are big. So never think a bait is too big for a kingfish or a lure.
Yeah.
They really are. Yep.
We lost one on salmon a couple of
Yeah,
years ago, didn't
We
we?
did, yep.
It's Steel Rocks.
Yep.
Mm.
Jace's spot X, apparently.
One
He
of my
doesn't
many
like to mention
spots.
seal rocks, even though it's a well-known fishery.
Oh boy, 12.
There you go.
We've got to coax info. Oh, you said it. Can't believe it. We're going to have to coax all the information out of you, Jace, because you're so secretive. But, you're on a podcast, so
Yeah, I know.
you're going to have to give up some secrets.
Yeah, I just one thing, I'll never lie. I may avoid the truth, but never lie. Yeah,
Yeah, and I won't let you get away with avoiding the truth. I'll just keep pestering until you answer.
that's it.
I was wondering, because there was an influx of baby seals at Seal Rock, I wonder if that's then brought the sharks in and it's turned the kings off as well.
I thought you were going
But the
to.
water temp hasn't gone up there either.
Ask if they were good live baits.
How many seals have you caught this year, Jace?
Negative.
I can vouch for a few.
Actually, I've had seals take my kingfish twice. So once was with Michelle, and we lost that battle. We had a double hookup. We got hers in, and then mine. He stole our fish. So it was
Wow.
terrible.
It was a good chase though.
Yeah, but I learnt once that seal has got the fish, if you do circles around him and just keep chasing him, he tires, and then we just gaff the fish, and away you go. You can still off him. So if you do circles, he has to come up for air.
Mm.
Yep.
It's unfortunately going to become more and more of an issue as the seal population explodes.
Yeah.
As you know, down in Tassie, it's nearly impossible to catch a tuna without the seals grabbing it.
Yep.
And Jonah was telling me last year, like he caught quite a few big tuna, around 100 kilo, and he was saying that normally when they grab the tuna, they can't pull the tuna down, so they eat it up on top, and you can normally get it back off them.
Mm-hmm.
But he reckons they've started to learn to take the tuna underwater and eat it underwater.
Oh, really?
Wow.
So that you can't get it back off them.
Well, that's what happened with your fish.
Yeah.
10 years ago, they came to the surface and, they have to come up to breathe. But
Yeah. Which takes a little bit of the shine off your first big fish when you land it in 20 minutes because the seal's necked it for you.
Yep.
But unfortunately, it's something that you have to deal with down there.
When
Even-
these big tuna, I guess, get attacked and basically die, is it like a big black marlin where it just sinks to the bottom and it's almost impossible to wind in?
Yeah, actually, I've once again with Jonah caught a 121 kilo bluefin on 24 kilo that died, and we winched it off the bottom.
Oh,
And
really?
dead weight straight off the bottom.
Wow.
And we fought it. We were driving around all aggressive on it, like fighting this fish, going, it's a real stalemate, guys. And I'm like, hang on, stop driving. I think it's dead.
I think it's dead.
There's no tail beats. It's not moving. We're just doing circles around it. And yeah, there's a big bluefin hooked in the stomach. And yeah, I can't believe that we managed to winch it up on
Really?
24. So
Was there much swell or anything that day, or
not over the top, no.
Yep.
Like, yeah, just got very lucky because it was hooked in the stomach too. So pulling it sideways up through the water column.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh.
we were very lucky the seals
I
didn't
like
find
catching a wide brim hat in Westernport.
it. Very much so, Adrian.
But just going back to the seals, like back at Welshpool, you would never lose a live bait to a seal, and now you do, and they never used to attack your fish. Then I think about 3 years ago, one took a fish, and then we just charged it with the boat, and he was scared, he dropped it. So
It's the old
now you got no
seagull with a
chance.
chip trick, isn't it?
Must
Yeah.
be a
Grown
female
accustomed to it.
seal.
Why is that?
More resilient.
Adrian actually tried to get a kingfish off a seal.
Yeah. I was telling
Oh, that's
Jason's
right,
story.
yeah.
I was a couple hundred meters before buoy 12.
Where?
Oh,
What?
You know, the kingfish
Yeah.
lot.
and
only
I think
buoy
I
the
told you this. I
kingfish
was doing
You
circles
did.
around. I didn't have a gaff on my boat, and I actually
Yep.
grabbed it by the tail, and the seal took it back, and I was still in gear, and my stomach's knocked the gear stick down, and I've gone too fast, and it's ripped it out of my hands. But yeah, if I had a gaff, I would have got it easy. So they made a fish with a jig in its mouth. So
Oh, really?
yep.
Jeez.
And speaking of jigs, this was your next.
Speaking of jigs, okay, so these are the jigs that I use probably in the rip or down at Welshpool. So that one
Double assist.
150 gram. No?
150. Yep.
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
And
from
this
here.
one's about 130, and you can use like 200.
Yep.
I look with poppers and stick baits. I like natural colours or white.
Yeah, you can't go wrong with a natural colour, can you?
Just gives you confidence, and it's
Yep.
what I've always used, and etc.
There's a
I'm
bit of a technique with these knife jigs too. It's
What
quite
is?
quite funny to turn up at the rip with boats full of blokes and they're at the side of their boat pulling up the jigs.
Pulling up the jigs and jigging.
I love going to the rip, and people think they're fighting a fish, and they've just dropped the jig on the bottom.
You know what? I've done that. Once upon a time, I was just. Yeah, had
It's
no
a bit
idea.
convincing, isn't it?
It is. It is.
Because the current is pushing you so fast.
So what's the jigging technique, Michelle?
Oh, there's some interesting ones. There's quite aggressive techniques out there.
Can you
Demonstrate.
mate?
Yeah.
Once more.
I've heard Adrian doing that before when we've been away.
David.
What? Jigging? So we've got the aggressive technique, the flat wind.
With jigging, like I like a slim jig and work it as fast as you can, pretty much.
Yep.
And same as poppers and stick baits, kings seem to like a faster action, and I think they're too smart or whatever. If you slow it down, they've got too much time to look at it. So the faster the action, the better.
Yeah. I also find with kings, once you get a pack follow you with a certain lure, very, very hard to get them to then eat that same coloured lure once you cast back in again. So it can
I
be
haven't
worth
had that
changing.
problem.
I
Yeah?
had that
No.
problem.
Yeah?
I sent them down.
Yeah, it's happened to me in the past, for sure.
Yeah.
They'll look at it, but not commit.
Yep.
And then you change colour or pattern or something, and then it triggers them again. That's what I found. But, I'm not the expert. Just my humble opinion, Jace.
Yeah, I'm just obsessed with kingfish. So every little bit of info sinks into my brain, and
Yep.
I love them.
Very good.
So how many trips of fishing for kings have you done this year, do you reckon?
Oh, well, it was 10 at Western Port, and
Yeah, but overall, we want an overall count. It doesn't matter where.
Oh, I don't know.
Most of the year.
Well,
Every
it's
second
been-
day.
It's been probably been 30, give or take, and Michelle's been on how many of those?
About 5 or 6.
7.
Yeah.
Couple
Yeah.
at Welshpool,
So you've-
3 at Welshpool.
You've done
Yeah.
30 trips and tagged 40 fish.
Tagged almost 30, but
Right.
yep. And not, the boys have we've kept a couple as well to eat.
Yep.
Yeah, I love eating kingfish. Yeah,
No, you're allowed.
He's complaining about the biomass and he's keeping it.
No, me
Bloody
and
hell.
Adrian are really looking after the fishery by not even going near them.
yep.
Yeah.
How many kingfish have you guys caught this year?
Ask us how many times we've tried.
Okay,
Oh, actually,
Well,
I
Adrian's
have.
tried.
Actually, I have gone to boy 12.
You
But
have,
You
yep.
did, yeah.
yeah,
Yep.
but yeah, that was very difficult.
But also, it's been good to see a lot of people releasing the kings like this year. Yep, there's been a lot more talk about it at boy 12.
Yeah, yeah, no,
They've
it's
got
good.
the fish there. Yeah, it is.
There's probably a gazillion down there anyway. No.
Adrian,
Just stirring you up, Jace.
Enough about kingfish.
Yeah.
no worries.
No, not enough. We'll talk more.
Yeah.
But we've got to get through some of the other stuff.
Are we going to go through the questions on the?
Yeah.
He's
Don't you listen to this podcast? We did that last.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right.
Right, come on, mate. There's a structure we've got to follow here. A vague structure.
Yeah.
So, but what I thought we might do, Adrian, is go to the hookup
Oh, the
and
hookup.
check out what's happening. Welcome to the hookup.
Dave made it intro.
Pretty pro, isn't it?
Not bad.
What do you
God.
got for the hookup, Dave?
All right, so yeah, we're going to do the hookup. We're going to check out what's happening, and there's some.
Well, let's ask Shell. Have you been fishing this week?
Yeah.
I have been, I would call it boating this week.
Boating.
It was a donut day.
No,
Was that with
happens.
Jace, was it?
It was. Yep.
Jace.
Happens.
Welsh ball.
No, Western Port. Yeah,
Ah.
local.
Are you
and,
blaming the season?
it's almost the end of kingfish season, and the water's green, and the temps are dropping a bit. But
The watercolour has been very up and down this year, I've noticed, along the coast.
it's gone down now. Like, yeah,
A lot of easterlies.
yeah.
A lot of easterlies.
I've noticed that the last few years.
Do you
Yeah.
reckon that's
What-
from the La Nina? Is that how you say it? La Nina?
Yeah. In a Latino accent.
And the floods. There's crazy amounts of floods at the moment.
There was up north.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But what?
It's still going.
How about? Yeah, but you know what's flooded down from up north as well?
What's that?
Cobias.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah, I
Have you heard about this? Cobia
Have you
caught.
heard of the cobia?
There's been a couple.
Look at that beast.
Look at that. This was caught off Corner Inlet.
Now, Adrian then
Shell's
says
laughing. She doesn't believe. She thinks it's
Corner
an
Inlet.
early April Fool's joke here.
it's a flathead and someone's put a white texture on it.
No, this was caught at Corner Inlet this month, I think. Earlier
Yeah.
this month.
Welshpool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
We just stole that from Fisheries Victoria.
Yep.
But Adrian says to me, I've always dreamed of getting one in Western Port. And
I say it
no,
like
he
every
said,
year.
I want to be the first one. And I said, Adrian, it's been done before,
Yeah,
mate.
It has.
You heard about this,
The
Jace?
corals
have,
or
yep.
something.
I reckon
Yeah.
there's been more than one out of Western Port.
It's a funny time of the year because I know one of the charter boys had flying fish. Then there was a sea snake out of Western Port, and a very good friend of mine hooked a marlin down at Welshpool.
Yeah,
Really?
We've heard the controversial marlin
100%, 100%, and
tape.
there was witnesses.
No, I actually believe
True.
it.
Running your
True.
I've heard this
marlin
before.
radar over this.
True.
I reckon Black Marlin.
Yeah. He said it was black. Yeah.
Yeah.
He did.
Black
And-
Marlin don't mind a bit of dirty water. If there's bait.
Do you
there.
remember when these school tuna became, really, I guess, in big numbers out of the Western Port heads there?
Mhm.
And there was the story, this about 4 or 5 years ago,
Oh,
that someone hooked a black marlin out there.
yeah. That was James.
Yeah, bag out.
Yeah, bag out. Yeah. So
James Evans.
I now believe him.
Yeah.
The way my friend Ben, like we just missed when he was fishing for kings, and then it took off and it jumped, and there was other boats around and they saw it. And
I would have said Eagle Ray.
the way there was 3 other guys on board, and the way they were just like carrying on, it was just crazy. And so I 100% believe him. Yeah.
I think we were out that day, weren't we, Dave? When we heard the black marlin caught.
What?
I think we were out there that day.
The other day?
No, that day.
What?
Get your story
Recently?
straight.
Not caught, like years ago.
Oh, you're
And
talking
we-
about the one from years ago.
Yeah, the one we're just talking about now.
But James hooked
Yeah.
it.
No,
Jason's
not
talking
that
about a
one.
recent one.
That was like
Yeah.
in the recent month.
Yeah.
That's-
Look, it's
That's
I
incredible.
believe it because like I was saying, you find like we've caught black marlin within like a K of the rocks in reasonably green water.
Yeah. Yep.
They're much more likely to put up with dirty water than striped marlin.
Yep.
So yeah, probably could have just followed the bait along and
Yep.
ended up there. And they don't mind shallow water either. So could be a developing fishery in the future.
Yep. He clearly saw it. And I believe him.
That's very exciting. Now we might move down to Tassie for the hook. We're still doing the hookup, by the way.
Yeah, we are.
So Tassie, exciting news today, Adrian.
Yeah. Jonah's been messaging us,
Yeah, so there's been
blowing up. There's been a few barrels caught.
there's the broadbill competition's down at Eagle Hook Neck, but I think it's a bit windy to be dropping for swords. So there's been
Hang on.
3.
Jason's passing secret notes to Shell here under the table. Jace.
Is it about us?
No.
It's about us, isn't it? Look, I know I'm not the prettiest. But
You need a shave.
oh no, then I'd look about 2. Actually, apparently, just going way off track here,
Yeah.
Brendan messaged me today and said he accidentally shaved his whole beard off.
Yes, I did see that.
So it is now my mission to get a photo of his beardless face.
He
It's gone
basically said
grey.
he's...
It's gone really grey. It's gone white. Father Christmas. He'd make a great Father Christmas, wouldn't he?
He must have just done the old accidental trim too far and then just kept trying to fix it and get worse and worse, and then he had none left, I reckon.
I can't even grow a beard, so
No, I can tell. It shows. You'd catch much more kingfish if you had a beard. That's
negative
proven scientific fact.
from experience.
Yeah. How dare you?
So, going on with
Yep.
your broadbill competition there, Dave.
Yeah, 3 large tuna captured today in the broadbill competition, which means it's and we were saying this week any day now the big bluefin were going to arrive down at Eagle Hook Neck, so it looks like that's happening. So that's very exciting news, Adrian.
Yeah, it really is. I'm actually thinking about going down there with my little tinny one weekend.
Yeah, I'm keen as
Weather dependent.
Where are you going to launch from?
Probably just straight
Torquay?
off the rocks. Well, I've got the range, Jace, to launch off Torquay, so why not?
That could be good. That'd be very exciting, Adrian. Also, yes, I've spoken to Jonah today. Actually, he's given me all the updates down there. So he also says stacks and stacks of smaller bluefin and albacore, and in the northeast of the state, they're actually getting some nice kingfish. Have you noticed this?
I have, yeah.
So
Followed that page, and there's a lot of kingfish down Tassie.
they're actually pretty big.
Mm.
They're like they always used to get the little tiny ones.
Are you talking St Helens or Bicheno? What kind of area there, Dave?
Yeah,
Or is
like
it secret, like Jace.
no, well, I only like there's only vague areas, but I think it's like the northeast of Tassie.
Okay.
Like they're actually getting like meter fish.
Wow.
Maybe that's where they're all going, Jace.
I think their size limit is only 55 centimetres as well.
Yeah, which is great. You can keep so many more.
Really, for pelagic fish, it should be a national, limit, shouldn't it?
Well, they don't get that many kingfish down there. I suppose that's what they're doing.
Yeah,
Why,
To encourage people to go fishing,
Yep.
But
spend
sometimes
money in the
that's-
economy.
yeah. Sometimes that's the issue though. Like the limits don't keep up with the fisheries.
Correct, yeah.
Like, what's the swordfish limit? I think it's 2 or something.
It's just under the billfish, isn't it?
Yeah. Anyway, it's too many because obviously when they made that limit, nobody was catching swordfish in Victoria. Now everyone's catching them. So I'm pretty sure you can keep 2 of them, which is pretty ridiculous.
You reckon you'll get one on top water soon, Jace? Swordfish?
Yeah, no chance.
You can try. Moving on with the reports, though, we've also had some big tuna news from Victoria.
Yeah.
There was some talk late.
Now,
yeah.
I believe you saw a fish caught and you jumped.
No, well, there was a few caught.
Pulled the trigger
yeah,
too early.
Well,
yeah, I thought I was doing a fast, good reaction though, Jace.
he was trying to guilt me and going and
No, I genuinely thought. So what happened is Mason Schultz and I think some other guys went down and they went out to the oil rigs off Apollo Bay, which is stupidly far, by the way. It's like 90k.
it's moved, I heard.
Yes.
There's two.
It has moved,
I've
which
heard there's
confused me greatly the other day. Anyway, so there was some big fish caught. I think they got like an 80 kilo and some like medium sized ones. And I looked at that and I'm like, oh shit, it's on. And this same thing happened last year. So I'm like, oh yeah, it's the start of the run. I got to get there real quick. Weather's good this weekend. Hopefully not everyone's onto it yet. I'll go before all the boats go. And yeah, I went down there, left home at 2 a.m., drove through the darkness, and then ran out in the dark and 90 Ks of large swell, and eventually got to the rig and got really confused because it had moved 15K. And yeah, I marked some good fish, but yeah, all I really saw was like 10, 15 kilo bluefin busting everywhere, which was very disappointing. Drove some laps around that for the day and then headed in very disappointed. And by that stage, the wind had come up. So, 90 Ks of bashing into a head-on sea.
It's bad for current down there.
Yeah.
Really bad.
Apollo Bay
Big Reef.
is terrible, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Big Reef bashes everyone up on the best of days.
Oh, that whole area is reef, though. Like, that Cape Otway is some of the worst water I've seen when it's working.
I know. It's a headache.
Yeah. So I think there was current going west, swell going east, and wind going southwest. So
Gotcha.
it's like riding down the swell into current and waves for like 3 hours. And I was thinking, yeah, this is the stuff that breaks boats. And sure enough, I broke some stuff on the boat.
You did.
What'd you break?
Oh, just the bow rail or some of that stainless just like snapped off on where the anchor is. And
So the little ring on top of the bowsprit, that just like broke, like the weld snapped off.
And just
too much
fell in
jarring.
the water or?
No. It's
Still
all
there?
good.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just one of the welds broke, which is not the end of the world. Like, could have been worse, but
Now,
Yep.
I believe the most disappointing thing wasn't catching fish for you, Dave. I believe it was the fuel bill.
yes. At that stage, I think it was $2.20 or something, and we used 200 litres.
Plus the
$500.
diesel.
But the good news is I
You
haven't
get
refilled
one
it
tank
yet.
each way.
Yeah, plus the tank of fuel.
Each way.
Each way. Thanks for reminding me. But yeah, good news is I haven't refilled the boat, and I don't intend to ever refill the boat, so I won't have to pay for it. So
Hopefully it comes down.
hopefully, otherwise that boat's just never going in the water again.
Pier fisherman.
Yeah. I'll just have to go.
I
I'll
can't
just have to
picture
jump.
him going for grass whiting and squid off the pier. Can you?
I
Let me
might.
tell you.
Some garfish.
I'll happily do that, Adrian.
Mind you, the garfish are going really good off Port Phillip Bay, which I mentioned
They
last
are,
week.
yeah. I've seen some good pictures, yeah. Good
When we were
reports.
snapper fishing in 20 metres, we had like 100 at the back of the boat in the
Really?
Burley Trail.
Yep.
It was incredible. And we had one little hook, but we spoke about that last week, so I won't get into detail.
Thank God. It was boring enough last week.
Yeah.
No, it was a good story. Well done. Yep, so moving on. The small bluefin are going really good at Port Fairy and Portland, which Adrian's going to go down there for some reason.
Target 100, Dave. I've got an ambition here.
Yeah.
He gets carried away about big fish, but
No,
my ambition is to tag 100 this season.
I just
I'm
sort of
going to
thought
do
you-
it.
I thought you'd all catch them all close to home, though.
Wow, I've tried in the last 3 weeks, or 2 weeks, and missed 7 times, so that's enough.
Fair
Would you
enough.
keep going if you missed 7 times in a row, Jace?
I did.
You did.
I did that for like 4 years before I got my first sword.
Yeah.
So you're just a big quitter.
No, I'm not quitting.
Port Phillip snapper are bloody going off. It's like it's snapper season again. Have you
Mornington.
seen this?
It's
Yeah.
good fish too.
So Mornington, Mount Martha, stacks and stacks.
You been
of them.
out, Shell?
Not on the snapper yet. I
Oh.
was going to go this week, but I went for the kingfish instead.
Oops. Sorry.
Are you a snapper fan?
Yes and no. It's the early morning starts is quite hard.
Oh, we hate that too.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
You got to fish Western Port where you can just fish afternoons and stuff.
Oh,
See,
yeah.
Western Port's not as aesthetically pleasing to me though, because I love the blue water.
Well, we
Well-
like the mud.
You could have done what me and Winger did last Monday. Just rolled up at the boat ramp at 10:30 and got a fish like straight away and came back to the ramp an hour later.
Yeah, that's the other thing. If you find them,
Yeah.
you're bagging out within minutes, and then you're like, oh, well, what do I do now?
Yeah.
Well, Western Port, you got to fight all the eagle rays and other
weed, the
big black
tide.
rays, the tide, the weed. Yep.
Yeah.
It's just it's not fun at times, is it, Dave?
Yeah.
No, but it can be.
It can be really fun though.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like the fight is different in Port Phillip to
Yeah.
what it is in Western Port because of the tides
Yeah.
and the gear
Yeah.
you use as well.
Well-
I don't know. I just like Port Phillip for that reason too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the diversity of fish in Western Port is a lot better. Like
Yeah.
you don't get that in Port Phillip behind me. The 100-pound.
No,
mulloway.
you don't.
You do catch good mulloway by accident off there, but not the big fish like in Western Port.
How big was it?
Chase, just read it, would you?
Look, I feel we haven't covered it enough.
Actually, I didn't know it was that big though. I knew it was a big Jew, but I didn't know it was like
100 pound.
Their
Yeah.
arms looked pretty stretched in that photo.
How could you not know? We've bloody told you like 100 times.
Now the thing is, we actually weighed and measured that on camera, so it's all legit.
I believe you.
Yeah, 1.7 meters long. 100. Oh, was it?
Shut up. Nobody
45.8
cares.
kilos.
Stop hijacking. Stop hijacking my report segment.
Okay.
They
Anyway,
sound like
we-
us.
Yeah.
We're nearly finished anyway. Thought I'd just quickly touch on though some big squid around in Western Port, Adrian.
Yeah, Mitch Chapman messaged me
Yeah.
over the weekend.
Are you allowed to give away your spot?
Oh well,
Mitch is secretive like me.
Yeah, I know.
he is.
He'll,
Well,
put,
we'll just
he'll put
say-
photos of these squid up in like 2 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
18 months.
Oust him, Adrian. Tell
Yeah.
us where he got them.
Stony Point,
Oh.
Mitch. I've given it away.
They've been firing
Oh.
southern end peninsula as well.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's good.
Yeah, same with the eastern entrance of
Yeah,
Western Port.
Cleveland Bite and stuff. So
I'll have to get you to be my report correspondent because I don't really know what's going on in Port Phillip, so I kind of ignore it. So I'll get you to like
It's such a good bay.
I know, but like we live on. Well, I know you don't, but I live on Western Port, so and that's where I've grown up. So I'd be lost over there. I'd need you guys to show me what to do.
What about the kingfish in the rip as well?
Yeah.
Yep.
he doesn't have that on his list, Jason. It doesn't touch his radar.
Oh, well, you know why? Because I just figured you'd cover all that stuff. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well,
Oh yes, we've got another secret guest over here on the couch, Adrian.
yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Should we
Kai.
bring him in?
We've got it.
Can we
Yeah.
get a view of him?
Yeah, get him to come in behind your
Well, the
camera.
thing is, Jason
Jump over,
didn't
Kai.
send me a photo of him, so
You can
I'm
sit
gonna
with
go
old
on Instagram
sit
and
with old Unky Jace.
sort through some stuff.
There he is.
There he is, hidden behind the microphone. So yeah, you want to tell us that story? Does Kai want to tell us?
Yeah.
Well, we fished the rip and on Saturday, wasn't it?
Yeah, Saturday I think.
Yep. So is that your first kingfish?
Yeah, first ever kingfish, and I went a meter.
Beautiful.
So I've got it up on the Instagram here, and that's young Kai there with a 1.3 kingfish.
So Kai's Jace's young fishing protege. Is that correct?
Yeah. They're
You've
both
got
my
a couple
apprentices.
of apprentices. Like you got Connor.
Yes. Connor's dad is like my best mate. you
Yeah.
know, from many years ago, and I met Kai from fishing Paddo. And
Yep.
you've seen him down there as well, catching perch and brim and all that. And
Yep.
we just gel. And I said, yeah, you'll have to come out and catch kingfish. And first trip, bang, he was on. So he's done well.
Can you set the scene a bit, Kai? Can you give us the whole story?
Now, what I saw, Jason put up this live video on camera there, and Kai was giving up. He's
hard.
So tell us a bit about it, Kai.
We'll get you to speak close to the camera, Kai.
Yeah. So first ever fight with a kingfish. Usually catch perch and brim. It was impossible.
Yeah.
Very hard. Fishing like 6 to 8 kilos of drag, something like that. Usually fish like a kilo of
Yeah.
drag at the absolute most. Back's hurting, arms hurting. Felt it for like 2 days after. In here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Very
awesome.
hard.
Big congrats. Well done.
Thanks.
They certainly pull pretty hard.
Oh yeah.
But,
Especially with all that current in the rip and
Yeah.
fishing like 16 ounces already.
I'm glad you outfished Jace though.
And how did the kingfish taste? Like a certain part of it?
Oh, you didn't eat the heart, did you?
Yes, I did. It all made sense, you tricked me. You said it's tradition. You gotta eat your first heart of a kingfish or something like that, and I mean it makes sense, It was pretty chewy. Tasted a lot like salt water because I mean you just dipped it in salt before you gave it to me.
Now, Jace, did you slit the gills and pull the whole thing out together so the heart was still beating?
No, it died. And
Okay,
the
so you
heart
didn't
wasn't
give him the
moving.
beating heart.
No, I'm not that cool. Actually, he did it pretty easy. Like I
Yeah.
said, you got to eat the heart, and he just sort of goes, oh, okay, yep, no worries, and he didn't even balk at it. And I was joking, like I actually felt quite bad when he ate it, but he's a really polite lad, and I think he'd do anything to keep anyone happy, and he's a credit to his parents, I always say.
Good on him. And it's good that he's sort of gone through the steps of working out a system like Paddo River and tuned in as a fisherman, and now he's getting the opportunity to mix it with some big fish.
I don't know about working it out. Pretty tough.
Paddo,
Yeah.
you look like you were doing better than we were when we fished with you the other week. So
Only because I live 2 minutes away and I can just go down whenever and try.
yeah, that's awesome. Well done. Did you get any, Jace? Nah. Nah.
You got that
Well-
wrasse. Pretty stoked with that.
You got a blue throat on a jig. Classic Jace.
Did you tag it?
Okay, you can sit down now.
Thanks, Kai. Thanks for jumping on there.
Now that is embarrassing, Jace. You caught a wrasse on a jig.
I did, yeah, it happens sometimes. So at least
Yeah,
I didn't
it's
hook the
really
bottom.
common at the rip to do that.
Yeah, it's
Common everywhere where
every trip I
kingfish
do it.
live.
Yeah.
Yeah? Is it tricky for a moment? And you think you hook up?
Oh,
and
you hook up for a second and go, nah, King's just pulled. But credit to him, like I think we're in 50 metres and that fight was straight up and down, so it's really tough on his back. So
Yeah. So do you go the full-on lock drag when you're jigging for him in the rip there, or did you make it easy on
yeah,
him?
you got to always fish a tight drag on Kings, definitely, yeah. But he did well, yep, 100%.
Okay. Did we want to go through some questions?
Yeah, we can go through some questions, Dave.
I did have a grinds my gears thing as well.
do
but
you?
I don't know. I don't know. It's not that interesting.
Anyway,
Well,
Dave put up a post the other day and we've got a few questions to go through. So,
yeah, I reckon we'll whip through them. Where are they?
oh, you want to read them, Dave?
Oh, I don't care as long as they get read out.
Okay, we got one from Ladies Anglers. I don't know that's a question, but
That's not
it's
a question.
awesome to see women in fishing get airtime.
Okay.
Yep.
That's good. That wasn't a question.
She's
so that's
very supportive.
It's a statement.
She's been amazing for the women in wreck fishing. And if you do, go onto her page. She just promotes like women all over.
Oh, wow.
And it's
Yep.
amazing. And to see the incredible catches, but she's an amazing lady. So she's doing a lot for the industry.
Oh, good on her.
Yeah.
Where's she based?
She's Tassie.
Tassie.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So she knows Jonah, does she?
She does. Yeah.
Everyone knows Jonah. He's
Everyone
the mayor
knows
of
Jonah.
Tasmania.
He's a celebrity.
Yeah.
He's a big stickler for rules too, old Jonah, isn't he, Dave?
Yes, he's a fisheries officer, so and he's very rigid. I like to describe him as. Loves sticking to a rule. He's actually sent in a question too. He wants to know what your favourite tackle company is, Shell.
Oh, I'm pretty
think
sure he sent that because we're aligned with the same tackle company. But yes, I do love my Black Magic.
Very good, very good. What else have we got? Fishing with Fergie, old Pete's sent in a dig at Jace. Most of these are just digs
I
at
think
Jace.
they
to be
are all
honest.
digs at Jace.
I'm just a nice guy and easy target, that's it.
Yeah. They must love you. It's like when you're in primary school and you kick the girl that you love the most because that's you know what I mean?
David,
They all love.
what are you trying to imply here?
Don't you know that when you're like a kid and
Trying
like
to
you,
imply Jason Shell in a relationship here.
that's what I'm saying at all. I'm saying all Jason's mates
The
must
girl-
love him. That's why they tease him.
No, it's the other way around. I think the girl kicks the boy to get the attention of the boy.
Or something like that anyway. So P. Lynch Fishing has said, I want to know if he classifies as a dirty baito or a top water legend.
Definitely a dirty baito. I've seen him rig up live
I
baits.
have to, yeah.
So you're a dirty baito.
Yeah,
You know what? Live baiting is
In
a lot
Victoria.
different than just soft baiting, isn't it?
it is, yep. Soft baiting.
Oh, whatever they call
Soft baiting is plastic.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, whatever they call it. Just dead baits on hooks.
Yeah,
with
snapper
sinkers.
fishing. But because we live in a cooler climate, the fish aren't as aggressive, so you've got to fish bait in Victoria.
There you go. Good answer.
Oh, very interesting. Very interesting. Next question is, can Jace give us an indication of how many boats he has fished on in the last 5 years? Is it more or less than
Than
250?
Well, when my boat was off the water, I'd sort of be a bit of a boat slut and jump from boat to boat. But now my boat's up and running. I've got my own boat and do quite a few solo trips.
Oh, nice. Really repaying all the people that took you on board their boats.
Yeah, and Shell and Young Kai and yeah.
Yeah. That's good. Very good. So you didn't give us a number.
I think it's going to be more than 1,500.
99.
Oh, very good. That's nice. All right. So next question, which I think is a really interesting one.
Yeah.
From a man who's actually coming on the show next week.
Oh, McCredden.
Luke McCredden. He's got a real left of field one here. Are milk bars becoming extinct? Discuss.
Chase? Is that targeted at anyone?
I think it's just for everyone.
Well, they are,
100% they are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're no longer the milk bar. They're
You go to
now
the
a service
supermarket.
station.
Look, it's a very sad day, but I think the surveys are killing the local milk bar.
Yeah.
But my advice for any milk bar owners out there is that you really need to diversify and offer a service that the servos can't. I think my local milk bar is known for its hot dogs.
What?
So
Hot dogs.
You don't even have a milk bar.
Yes, I do.
Oh.
I've never been in there, but I've heard they're good.
There you go.
So milk bars, yeah, you're going to have to fight because unfortunately, you're going to be struggling there. Thanks for that
And
question, Luke.
also in saying that, like we should support the local tackle shops, not just like go to BCF and Anaconda and all that as well. So
Oh, but they've,
The independent shops.
always got sales, Jace.
it's service as well.
But if you're a member, you can a member at like BCF and stuff, you get stuff at the price that you'd pay anywhere else anyway. So it's really helpful. Good stuff.
Are you sponsored?
No, I'm not. Okay, so more digs at Jace. Someone wants to know Joe's mutton bird recipe, Adrian.
I don't know if he's killed one, but
No, but I'm sure he'll come up with something. We'll have to get Joe to answer that one. King George Whiting for liveys, ace and shells. Have you given it a go? King George Whiting. We sort of talked about this.
I think Shell's
Yeah.
put it in the esky and wrapped it for home.
I did have a king follow up my whiting.
Oh, wow. So you actually
Yeah.
had, or was it one
I
you
was
hooked-
whiting
yeah.
fishing and
And where was that?
Yeah, I had.
Boy 12?
No, I was at
Don't
Flinders.
lie.
I was at Flinders, and
Flinders is a good spot for kings.
yeah. This was only like a rat
Jace's
size,
mark.
but it was having a go at my whiting. So
I bet Jason interrogated you for the spot.
Were you with Jason?
No.
no,
Okay.
no,
So he's definitely got the mark now.
yeah.
I pinged her.
you pinged-
Flinders is good though. We've got
you
some-
didn't sell it out on a sub service that many of these guys have? No.
Jason would never do that. If he did, it would all be lies.
Can't lie. Avoid the truth. Can't lie.
Careful,
You haven't got me yet.
careful manipulation of
Yes.
the truth.
Correct. Yep. You'll get caught out otherwise. If you lie, you'll get caught out.
Exactly.
And I can't
We know.
do that.
Absolutely. Great message to send to the
Mate,
everyone
all
out
you
there.
say is, sorry, I can't tell you.
Yep. Or just avoid it. Just like, maybe, yes, sort of.
Yeah, what's that?
Western
Bird.
Port or.
Yeah. Yeah, I've noticed you're very good at that. One for you, Adrian.
Oh, for me.
Bo Ali,
This is interesting.
regular contributor, wants to know what the secret to being able to fish all the time without the missus cracking the shits is.
Oh,
I'm sure there was a lot of us wondering what kind of wizardry is going on. I think we actually do have discussed this though.
well, basically, I'm just working all the time and I go fishing. Nah. No, my wife knows that, if I give her some time, I can go fishing. And I told her, look, this year is my time where I'm going to work 2 or 3 days a week and the other days are going to be fishing.
Two or
She
three.
accepted that.
2 or 3
Does
days.
she like fishing?
Yeah. No, not really, because it takes a lot of time and it's a lot of cold weather sometimes, and just it's not her ideal world of grinding on the ocean. What do you
No.
reckon, Dave?
That's fair enough. It's not for everyone.
No.
Um,
like just squid fishing and stuff is fine, but
Yeah, I was
the kind
gonna
of
say.
fishing that we do,
Yeah.
where you're out on the ocean all day and you don't stop until you find something you like.
Which is what I was going to say is probably where WIRF is good, is that someone like Hayley might get into fishing independent of you, and she could experience like something a bit more like action-packed and lighthearted and fun
Yeah.
like squid and whiting and stuff like that.
Well, a lot of people go camping too, and you
Yeah.
throw in a fishing rod. There's a lot of mates that are on the road doing the lap around Oz, and they've got the fishing rods thrown in, and you catch a feed. It's
Yeah.
For sure.
Unfortunately, we're kind of past that stage where you want to just catch a feed. We want to chase like
Next level.
Yeah, the next level, the dream fish, just keep grinding until you get that good fish that you're after. Like we can't stop. It's like an addiction. I don't know what it is. Jace has that. I can see the sparkle in his eyes.
Well, it's that think big mentality, isn't it? You're only ever gonna fail if you stop.
Correct.
Yeah. If you just keep going despite all the setbacks, then eventually you're gonna win. We got some fully loaded Jace question here. You excited, Jace? It's not actually teasing you. So Harry Chop Taylor has sent in, got a few questions to the Kingy Guru, in particular rip fishing. What sort of rigging do you run for live bait in the rip? I'm guessing this is.
Yep. Normally fish squid because it's so much easier to get compared to liveys. Whereas, and I normally use two circle hooks, one in the hood. Two circle hooks, yeah. One in the hood, and I have quite a long trailing leader from the first one that's in the hood, and it's in the tentacles.
Ooh.
Tentacles.
Yeah.
Yep. I don't put it in the hood. I put it in the tentacles. Yep.
There you go.
arrow squid are really good too because they're quite aggressive.
Yep.
Yeah.
King smash arrow squid more than calamari.
Yeah, definitely.
100%.
Even dead ones.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, they love them.
I caught my first kingy off the arrow squid.
Yeah.
Yeah, just out of the rip.
I reckon personally, I think they like arrow squid above most other bait. If
Yep.
you can get an arrow squid, you're looking good.
And these are the hooks I use as well.
Wow. Some kind of Japanese hook.
Hiya, Bussa. 6 O's.
Yeah.
6 O's or 7 O's.
Last time I went fishing with
Eight
Jason,
O's.
he was, I guess, going on about this brand, especially with their Sabiki range.
Yep.
He loves
I'm
them.
not actually sponsored by them or anything. I was, but I still keep using them and swear by them. Yep. Love them.
But when Shell jumps on the boat, you have to chop them off and put black magic on.
So,
We still use black magic.
Yeah, we
Catches
do,
fish.
yeah.
He does.
so with your
loyal.
Sabikis, how many uses of a Sabiki do you get? How many trips?
Because they're from Japan,
Yes.
they're not the $2 ones. They're probably $10, but they're made out of fluorocarbon. They don't tangle, and the hooks don't straighten on a big slimy. And they're worth their money in gold.
So how long do they last?
2 or 3 trips.
There you go.
Adrian told me when he went with you that you had very rusty hooks. That's why I was asking you that. He wasn't impressed with you.
No, the
I have
jig
to pay
I
for
had
them. I have to pay for them.
was on its last rounds. Remember? The hooks kept snapping off.
Yep.
Um,
You're going too hard.
Yeah, I was going too hard.
oh, that's not like Adrian.
Nah.
Always going too hard. Lots of blokes doing well using yakkers this year in the rip. What's your favourite live bait?
Yeah, squid.
Arrows.
Yep.
Yep. Lock up and go hard or softer drag, less pressure on the kings. I think in the rip.
In the rip, you just go hard.
Gotta go hard, yeah.
Because it's so hard to read, and once you're in the reef, you're pretty much done anyway. But if you're fishing a shallower reef, because every fight's different, sometimes you hook a king, and you can just keep the boat in gear, and he'll follow you. And you don't pump and wind, you don't stir him up, you just hold it there and drag him out with the boat slowly.
Yep.
And then once you're clear of the reef or the shallow water, then you can go to town on him.
Yep.
Or if he goes hard and keeps running, then you've got to go, oh, okay, I think I might be in trouble here. And you can loosen the drag and then chase him.
Yeah.
Yep.
True.
You do need that clear communication with your driver too.
Yeah. Actually,
Screaming.
Actually, this year I've been smoked on the reef, I think, 4 times. Whereas
Well, you said you'd never been smoked before last time we talked to you.
I know. Well, it's been
It's
like
the first
4
for
years.
everything, Dave.
It's been 4 years, and
How the mighty have fallen.
Now, I
Yeah.
did see a video you put on Instagram of you absolutely getting railed. Did you land that fish?
no,
Because I saw
Gone.
the video just stop. I'm like, he must have lost it.
gone.
That's why he stopped. the video.
Smoked.
Very sad.
Now, was
Happens.
that a big fish, you reckon? Yeah.
Unstoppable.
Yeah.
But 4 times this year.
4 times you lost unstoppable big fish.
Yeah.
They're your 20 plus.
Yeah. No, not 20 plus. No, just some kings go harder than
Yeah.
others, or you're fishing shallower water, and they're all different. Like you and I are different, and and just double hookups as well. You know, when you got one fish going that way and you can't chase, and just under certain circumstances.
What about the one that you dehooked in the net?
Yeah, happens. Well, that nearly happened with Kai's. So
I saw that and I was watching live and I said, good save, Jace.
Yeah.
You actually went into Ace Jace mode and go, hold my camera. And you just grabbed the net and trying to put it in the net. And
just grabbed his tail and lifted it up with the hook. Yeah. So
We've done that so many times this year on bluefin.
Yeah.
They don't fit in the net that good sometimes.
yeah, I know.
I've had them like dangling outside the net by the hook, and like the hook's nearly straightened and somehow still landed the fish, and like wrap around the net pole and all sorts of crap.
Yep, happens.
Yeah.
The joys of releasing.
Yeah.
And so sorry, just to finish off on that one, any other knickknacks to fishing the rip? Maybe potentially what stage of the tide you prefer?
Always the run out. So you look at Williamstown tides, and it's half an hour before that tide, because it's
always catching up, isn't it?
yeah, I don't know. It's different. Like I used to fish, down the bottom end and think, oh, what? The tide's different, and couldn't work it out. And then everyone pretty much knows that. Look at Williamstown tide, and it's half an hour before that, and fish it on the start of the run out, or just fish the run out.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Not the flood. You'd think the clean water would come in on the flood.
Yeah, well, normally that's the rule. I'd fish anywhere else.
Yeah.
Nice clean water for kings, but yeah.
Very interesting. One for you, Shell. Western Port or Port Phillip Bay, and why? We've kind of covered this. but-
Yeah. Well, as I said, the Port Phillip Bay is aesthetically pleasing with the blue water. But I like to feel the fish. I just find Western Port, the tides are running too fast. You've got to deal with the weed. You've got to put heavy sinkers on.
Have you fought an eagle ray in Western Port in mid-tide?
No, I haven't.
That is a good fight.
Thank goodness.
Jace knows all about it.
So, no, I do love Port Phillip, but I do fish mainly the southern end. Otherwise, if I'm in Western Port, I'm Flinders End.
Yeah. Which is quite aesthetically pleasing too.
It's very aesthetically pleasing.
It's actually like paradise down there. Isn't
Oh,
it?
Yeah.
some days it is.
And it's easy to get my tinny in and out too.
Yeah.
My local mate that lives down there hates it when we put any photos up because he doesn't want people going there.
No comment.
Have you experienced that, Jace? Are you in trouble for putting it on social media?
I'm just choosy on what I put up sometimes.
I just love just dunking my car in the water there. It's so fun.
Hey, you can put the spots up, but
Oh,
you still
look at
have to
this.
have the skills to
Look at
fish
this.
it.
Yeah.
It's just dunked in there.
I like that you had that on hand, ready to go.
Yeah. Oh, we're talking about Flinders, and I'm like,
When you do sell that car, you can use that in the ad.
yeah.
Okay, so another question for you here, Jace, is we've already talked about the hooks, haven't we? Oh, when you're slow trolling yakkers, you use just a single of the same circle hook, is that right?
Yes, correct. Yep. And I'd bridle through the eye.
Yep. And leaders, fluorocarbon, is that a must or not? And what pound leader?
I used to run 60 or 80, and I've just gone to 80 since I've been getting smoked this year. And I run a really long leader because once a king goes into the reef, if it's braid, it will just break straight away.
Yep.
Whereas leader won't break straight away. And fluorocarbon is awesome, but it's really hard to use when it's 60 or 80 because it's got so much coil in it. So I just use
It's
mono.
got so much memory. Like you
Yeah.
can't wind it on your spool.
No.
And if you try to take it off, it goes.
It's also harder to get like FGs and stuff to bite into the fluoro.
Yep.
So
Correct.
like you have to scuff it up a little bit. That was from Matty Adam, by the way, who I believe you fished with in the rip the other day, because he also wants to know, is it top on or tops off fishing on the extreme?
I tell you what, he has his top off more than me.
I don't believe it.
Like I'm getting of age a bit, so
Speaking
You're very
of tops
sun
off, I have heard some stuff about you, Jace.
no, it's not
There was
true.
a trip down at Eildon, and I heard you were fishing for cod in only your budgie smugglers. Is this true?
Oh dear.
I've
Yeah.
got some
No.
information. Good. Actually, a guy who contributed to this show, intro music, Simon McCluskey.
Oh yes.
He goes, I was down there with Jace once, and he was only in his budgie smugglers. This is true.
Yeah, I was just trying to get
Impress
the tan
him.
all over.
Maybe that's a new top water technique.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh dear. All right, so We'll finish up with our last question.
Yeah.
From Lee's Chill. Where is Ace Jace's favourite place to target kingfish and most unexpected place he's caught one?
I haven't caught a kingfish that's been unexpected. Just sometimes, like recently, the water's been really green and milky green, and we've got kingfish, and you just go, wow, okay, because normally clean blue water, because that type of pelagic. Otherwise, I'm not confident. But yeah, it's late in the season, so we're getting him in dirty water. But I haven't caught one at a funny place or been fishing for snapper and caught one.
Yeah, okay.
And favourite place, look, Welsh Pool off. That's where I started, and I know it really well down there.
Could it be a bit more specific about this, Jace?
Is there a certain coloured island that you
Wilson's
like?
Prom.
Certain coloured island, maybe?
Let's tell us a group of islands.
I'm colourblind.
Okay. Is there one that has like large sheer rock faces? It's called like a hilly island.
Ones where you can get
Clicky.
dropped off.
Oh yeah.
And sunbake in your undies.
G-banger. One of the biggest kings I've ever got was down at Rondondo Island, which is right at the bottom of Wilson's Prom. And so that was a really big, fat, heavy fish. And
did you kill it or tag it?
What do you think? I was actually in a fishing comp, and I got disqualified because it's classified as Tasmania, not Victorian.
Yes.
True.
Oh, really?
Yes. We spoke about this actually when we were fishing.
Yep.
You said this island here is Tasmania.
It
one you
is.
can see right at the end of the prom there.
Yep. I've taken my little 15-footer down there and as well in Tasmanian waters. So
crazy.
Yep. But all those islands, they all hold kingfish. Some are marine parks. So
Now,
you've got to check on it.
Good mate Jonah probably would have fined you for that for not having a Tasmanian fishing license.
Oh.
Well, actually, sorry to ruin your joke, but you don't need a fishing license for offshore in Tasmania.
Thank you,
true.
Dave.
And the inshore waters.
It was more of a joke, Dave.
But so marine parks, you've got to be careful that you don't
there's
get caught
plenty
fishing
down
in
there.
them.
Correct, yeah.
Is that near Skull Island?
Rondondo? Skull Island is a marine park, but Rondondo is the big triangle. It looks like pyramid rock right at the bottom of the prom.
Yeah.
Yep. And it holds big kingfish. I don't mind saying that because it's a long way. It's a big distance.
Yeah, okay.
Yep.
Yeah, one of my friends actually was, I don't know if the whole area is a marine park or whatever, but anyway, he was diving there and he had a...
Which island?
Skull Island.
Yep.
He had a 16R Haynes and he was diving there with his mate and he was in the water and he came up and his mate's like frantically trying to get his attention. Anyway, long story short, his Haynes Hunter sunk and it was... They both ended up in the water, this really, really remote area, which would see probably a handful of boats a year. So they're in the water and he tried to climb up on the island and reckons he nearly got killed getting bashed against the rocks. And it was just an absolute fluke that an ab diver came past in a 233
Really?
and picked him up.
Wow.
So
why did the
A
boat
poacher?
sink?
well, maybe.
His name wasn't Cam, was it?
Yeah, it might have been. I don't know. I can't remember exactly. This was a few years ago, but I think maybe it had a crack in it or something like that. But anyway, I just thought, it's a pretty sketchy
Dane?
story. Yeah, Dane, yeah.
Dane's had a history with motors not starting and stuff.
He's had a lot of near-death experiences, to be honest. He's rolled cars and all sorts of things. But anyway, so it just goes to show you got to be really careful when you're out there. It's very
treat the
remote.
ocean. Yep.
Freakish that someone happened to be going past at that very moment.
Wow.
Adrian,
Yes.
did you want to talk about your boat again?
It flies.
I forgot about that, actually.
Because I wasn't sure if you wanted to...
I actually went and saw Bobcatter, Peter Bobcat. Have you heard of him, Jace?
I have. I heard he does a good job. I've had a few mates get their boats propped for him, and it's a bit of money, but it's probably saves in fuel if you're going to have the boat for a while.
Yeah, so he actually isn't just, a shop, a shelf or whatever. He's a service. So he actually spent some time with me and explained a lot of things when I went and saw him. And the first thing he goes, your cab plate's lower than your hull. It needs to come up because what it's doing is it's bogging your arse end down.
Yep.
So obviously...
the joke is,
Yeah.
if you see him, he'll raise your motor
Yeah.
one notch and put a four
Four
blade
blade on.
But there is a lot more to it. You know, there's pitch
Well,
and what size and everything.
Speaking of blades, this is what he put on mine. So those listening, it's
That's
like
pretty.
a 7-blade thing.
It is hard to believe the results that he talks about with those props, but Adrian reckons that genuinely did make a huge difference.
Like, because I got my motor tuned, obviously.
Yeah.
And it literally only went like 1 or 2 Ks more than what it was doing.
Mm-hmm.
And because it was just cavitating and
There you go. Yep.
bashing the limiter. So obviously you need to go up a pitch. And he tried doing all these techniques and stuff, like trying to get the boat to ride a bit better. And I'm like, Peter, you've decreased the speed. Oh, I thought you wanted to ride. Okay, Peter, I want top end speed. And he goes, oh, you should have said that from the start. He goes, I'm going to put this on. This is what all the bass boats have. It's a high rake pitch. And he goes, go out on your own.
I'm not coming with you.
Yeah. He goes, I come back. And he goes, you just had this big grin on your face. So I think I hit, like it was choppy that morning and I hit 63 just like, he goes, your boat was barely in the water, just jumping over the waves and you got a big rooster tail behind
Wow.
it. He goes, that
Awesome.
thing looks sick. I go, take it out, see what you think. And he's just taking it out. He's just jumping over waves and it was insane. And yeah, it's just like, I reckon he'll probably get like 66k an hour easy, like in the calm conditions. But
Yep.
yeah,
We should race.
yeah. I know yours goes 74, so
Yeah.
All right, I'm in. I'll do 80,
him.
85.
Shell, how quick do your boat go?
Don't even ask right now. It's really disheartening.
Oh, maybe you need a Peter Bob cutter.
Maybe I do. Or maybe I just need a new motor because she's very old. Yeah.
Nothing wrong
She
with
needs to retire.
2 strokes though.
No, there's not. But
Sometimes
this
there
one's
is.
like really old.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's had a few problems. So she's, she needs to retire.
Well, those who want to donate Shell a motor,
Yes, please.
Yeah, any motor companies out there,
Sponsorship.
we've got a mixture of motors going on here, Yamahas, Mercury.
Keep the seashell on the water.
yeah. Actually, Dave was very upset when I put a Yamaha on my boat because it did have a Mercury and
Mercury.
they didn't want to sell me a motor, believe it or not, because they didn't want to overpower my boat. So that's the only
Apparently, I
reason-
was upset.
Yeah, he was.
I
Right.
think there's a bit of a backlog with motors at the moment too.
Yeah, so I got lucky. Like it was only like a 3-week turnaround from when I said, "Yep, let's put it on," and it was on. So
Very exciting. Shame they put it at the wrong height.
yeah,
All right, so is the boat finished now?
yeah, it's done. Well, I
I
do
don't
want
believe
to.
you.
The only thing I want to do different now is either put a 12 or 16 inch screen on instead of 2 7s.
Yep. Good idea.
Yeah,
It never ends.
Jace loves it. I'm in. I'm doing it tomorrow. Jace has approved.
We can twin.
Yeah,
He's
and-
twisted my arm.
And your gauges that you're ranting about finally came and they're in and
Oh yeah, they're sensational.
oh, great. So
Yeah.
good stuff. All right, so that boat's finished.
Yeah, it's done.
Good to hear. Did you want to look at your lure of the week?
Oh yes, we do
I
have the
think we'll-
lure of the week.
Let's finish the show on this.
Yeah.
Joe's new segment, and he'd be very upset if we didn't do his new segment. We've got lure of the week. So if we check out the screen. up
So-
here.
Jace, what do you think of this lure?
I thought they're never going to work, but I've heard that they work. They
Well,
really do
according to
work.
Paul Malov, he just won a brim competition using it.
Yeah.
So I was just going to say, like, people got sick of using bait because it wasn't fun. So they used lures that imitated fish. And now they're using lures that imitate bait again. So
Yeah, no, yeah. There you go.
How would you even work that though? Like fully stationary, like cast it really close to a pole and just like fish it really stationary? Like
or do
imitate
you make it look like a mussel and just shovel it through the gravel in the ground?
it's possible
I
it just
don't
swims.
think they move at all. You just need to fling it against a.
They
pier
they
pylon.
open their little mouth
Pier-
thing.
It just
Just get some blue tack and stick it on the pier pylon, you reckon?
That's it. Yeah.
Sneak up, blue tag it to the pole, sneak off again.
Can't believe it works. But anyway,
I think it's fair to say that it just swims like a vibe and they eat a black coloured vibe.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if they do vibe. I haven't used one yet.
Okay. Might be a good
Do you,
kingfish lure.
do you reckon Kai might want to give one a shot in Paddo there?
For sure. Yep, he'd be keen. Definitely.
EP on the old little muscle
He
of the
catches
treble
bream.
hook.
He catches bream. He's
He
got a
does,
few
yeah.
40s. Yep, he's done well.
There you go. On the cranker crab there, Kai. Yeah.
He's not giving much away. I've taught him well.
There you go.
Oh, God. Well, I reckon that's a good spot to end on, Adrian.
Yeah, nah.
Lure of the week. Joe will be so pleased that we did that.
Thanks for coming on again, Jason Shell. It was really good having you and hearing your stories.
Thanks for coming in. Oh, and if people want to have a look at the WIRF, where can they find it?
Yep, so it's on Instagram and Facebook. So Instagram's for men as well, to see what we're all up to. And the Women in Rec Fishing page on Facebook.
But men are banned from that one.
Men are banned for that one, so
Oh,
you do
wow.
have to answer a couple
I
of questions.
joined, and then a week later it's gone.
Josephine.
And I bet you keep hitting that join button.
I
Now
have
I've been blocked.
have seen a few men appear on the webinars that we do, so and try and pick up a few tips.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Always
fair
pick
enough.
up some tips. That's the
awesome.
great thing about fishing. Like, you're always learning. You never know it all.
Definitely.
I
So,
know.
Yep.
like Jace was just talking about the kingfish. He's never seen him in green water, and there he is
I know,
catching him in
yeah,
green water.
I would, like the other week, green water. We went gave it like hour and a half, and went for the gummies. And I'm thinking, oh my god, they're there.
Yep.
Keep going.
Ah, good stuff.
All
Well,
right,
thanks for coming in, guys. Thanks, Michelle. It was very nice to
Thank
meet you.
you.
Thank you,
Just
Jason.
played Dave
What's
on
up,
our
you
voice.
bloody legends? Thanks for listening to Wind Against Tide again. That's it for another episode. Please like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. You'd be doing us a massive favour. Thanks, guys.